like when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, they're gonna have like this magic whoop-de-doo thing, and they're all
Right.
gonna have to take out the whoop-de-doo thing. But just wait, Shang Chi, he can take out the whoop-de-doo thing, you know. But
What's
it
the
wasn't.
whoopsie, dude? Pause.
Well, you everybody knows what whoop-de-doo thing is.
Hey guys, welcome to the PGC podcast season 1 finale. I'm here today with your co-hosts Caleb and Ryan, and our special guest this week is Nick. Nick, if you want to say hi to everyone, there he is.
What's going on, everybody? Really excited to be here.
Yeah, good to
Yeah,
have
Being
you.
so
talking to the gang about stuff. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's
happy
gonna
to be
be
here.
awesome. Glad to have you here.
What is your top 3 games of all time? Let's just get right into it.
Top 3 games.
That's
Yep.
hard.
That's hard, man. I feel like that rotates
It is
every
hard.
time new games come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, Ghost of Tsushima has been my favorite game
Ooh,
ever
okay.
since that came out. Like, it's just been fantastic. So that's definitely number 1 for me. Number 2, I would have to say Dishonored. You guys ever played that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dishonored
yeah.
one
That
or
was just
two?
a real. That was just a real classic game. Really got me into like those stealth games, you know, like and like the fact that like things change depending on your actions, like those type of games.
Did you like the original one more than the second one?
I think the second one was really good. The first one to me is just like a classic. Like it was like the first of its kind. Like just the
Right.
whole fact that the endings changed on like little things that you do, and like the world around you changes this depending on your decisions. Like, and that's become a big thing in games nowadays. It's like
Yeah.
a constantly evolving world. And I feel like that was one of the first games to really like make that happen and make it like you actually feel it.
I'm
So
trying to think.
that's number 2.
Are there any games that influence that, like that were influenced directly from Dishonored? I feel like everyone's probably yelling. at me.
The first one that comes to mind is if you guys have seen anything about Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole catch
Yeah.
is that the world is evolving depending on what little decision you make. So like that's just the
Right.
first one that comes to mind. That's supposed to be a really big game coming out. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
I
that
am
system of
excited.
ever changing, and that's just really cool to me. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I played the second one. I thought the second one was really cool, where you like go back in time, you know, and then go forward in time, so you could like do different traps. I went back and I played that thing like twice. I had a lot of fun. But what's
yeah.
the third one?
the third one, I was thinking about this before I like came on. It's like what games like I said, it changes every once in a while. So I think one of the first games that really like got me going and got me into like playing with my friends would have to be like the first Borderlands. Like that was a
Ooh,
classic in my
yeah.
eyes. Like
That's a
the
good
third
one.
one was okay. The second one I thought was fantastic, but it all goes back to the first one, just that whole like gritty, like comic book looking, like just all the guns
Yeah.
and like it being kind of creepy and eerie at the same time. Like the atmosphere that it created for me, especially like at the time when I was really getting into video games, like A1 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you like
No.
Did you like the remastered version of it? Have you played that at all?
Yeah, I have it all. I think I had it on my Xbox. It was like this, the sequel remastered and then like number 1 remastered. And I thought it was great. I mean, those games were good to begin with, and just having it like updated and run even smoother. Like,
Right.
and all the DLCs were always so fun with them. So
yeah.
Sweet.
I played Borderlands 3, and I was like, I was into
I
it
was
for the
disappointed.
first like 2 months, and then once I had everything, I was like, okay, so now what? Is this it? Oh, I played on harder difficulty. Yeah, I'm good. It was
I
pretty
was disappointed with the third one.
Yeah, no, it was a little underwhelming, I guess, for someone coming into it having never played them. I was like, this could be better.
For sure.
Well, Caleb, you want to go over today's topics?
Yeah.
Got a lot planned.
Okay, so we do have a lot planned for our 10th finale of season 1. This is the 10th episode, of course, and starting off, we have the biggest thing I think in gaming this week and probably this month and probably definitely this year is the PlayStation conference. Man, Sony just hit us with so many new games, and they definitely like put their dick down in terms of like going up against Xbox and Nintendo. So we have the PlayStation conference. Next, we have the China gaming ban, which is massive. Man, this is really really in depth, and it's talking a lot about like how gaming affects like mental health and how like gaming like can corrupt from the point of view of like China can corrupt minds, I guess.
Right.
And then finally, we're going to be moving into the movie time, and I'm going to have a Shang-Chi, or someone say Shang-Chi, spoiler-free movie review. And last, you guys all know what we got to end on. The tier list of the greatest games of all time. This is the last the 10th and last one of this.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we may have it come back later on, but for this season, this is going to be the last greatest of all games, greatest of all time games. So that's going to be really interesting. So moving all the way back to the beginning.
Back to the beginning.
The PlayStation conference, guys.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody? First off, did anybody watch it live?
I did.
While it was happening. Yeah. Okay,
I
Ryan.
watched it at work. Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was pretty cool. I'd say there's a lot of heavy hitters they came out with that just, for a second, I was like, man, do I have to go buy a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4 to get these
Right.
games? A lot of stuff that I feel like fans of like Marvel and just PlayStation in general were wanting, and they finally got. So it was pretty cool to watch and pretty cool to see all the games that are going to be coming out.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Phoenix, what did you think?
So I didn't get to watch it live, but Nick and I were at work, and I didn't even know it was really going on. And I walked in, and he was like, "Bro, did you hear about Spider-Man 2 got announced?" and like all this stuff. And I'm like getting ready for work, so I'm like, "Oh, no, not really." And I wouldn't really process. And then he like started playing some of the trailers, and I was like, "Oh shit, hold up, this looks really cool." Then like later on, I saw more. I'm really excited for Spider-Man 2. I think that's going to be awesome. The next God of War is probably going to be amazing as well. I still have to finish the first one. Yeah, but
You gotta get on that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm hoping, these are all probably going to come out exclusively for the PlayStation 5. We all know how difficult it is right now to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. They're very expensive. I mean, Amazon's latest price was $1,300 for an Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still going up. And
that
with
hurts.
it coming closer to Christmas time, I think a lot of people are going to not be able to play this game. And that'll probably keep the hype for the console up, which is what they want. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get to talk a little bit here in a minute about PlayStation versus Xbox. And that's where I think the conversation will be very interesting then.
For sure, yeah.
But I was very excited. What about you, Nick?
Dude, like, currently I have a PS4. I'm trying to get that PS5. We talk about how hard it is, and like, I'm like excited for every single game that they showed. But also, like, looking at the release dates, like, we have time. Like 2023, a lot of these things, like the end of 2022, like, we have time. But I am very excited for when I eventually get my hands on some of these games. Like God of War Ragnarok looked fantastic. Like it looked even better than the first one. Of course, Spider-Man. Of course, Insomniac's making Wolverine. That's going to be insane. Like I feel like that's a game a lot of people have been waiting for, like ever since they announced Spider-Man. Like, and who knows? There's maybe a bigger plan to make like an Insomniac Marvel universe kind of thing, because they're technically canon in the Marvel Comics universe.
Yeah,
Which is amazing. Like these are real things that are happening in their universe, so to speak. And it's like I'm kind of excited to see what they take like their own little multiverse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Didn't Marvel just get the rights to all the X-Men stuff too?
Yeah, that was very recent. Marvel got, well, I should say Disney acquired Fox, and that means they get all the X-Men stuff. They get Fantastic Four, all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
before they could make games out of that, because that's different than like game rights is different than film rights. But now they can have the films, they can have the games, and they can all kind of coexist.
Because they have character rights. Like they can do anything with these characters now.
They're gonna announce too the Green Boblin game as well.
The Green Boblin game is gonna come. That's coming out actually tomorrow. We're gonna have some sneak peek footage for you guys for playing the open beta.
Nick, if you want to do like I did, I got this pulled up right now. If you want to go to StockX and have $700 extra, you can buy a PS5.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what? I may have to do some digging and have to see.
That's what I did with my Xbox, and it still hasn't let me down. So I might actually have to do that with all the games that are coming out for PlayStation. Just maybe shell out $700 for a PS5. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
like we said, you have a lot of time to do that. So hopefully the prices don't go up, but there is still time to get these games. You don't want to just be sitting, spend $700. I mean, everything will play better, but you don't just want to be sitting on it.
I mean, I think Spider-Man 2 was saying 2023. So you got
which is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I was gonna say, do you think there's gonna be another Spider-Man movie that comes out after that they'll have more characters to add to Spider-Man 2? Or you think it's just gonna be No Way Home and that's gonna be the only movie before that game comes out?
Definitely just No Way
Okay.
Home. The
Really?
amount of time in between these Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 years or longer.
Yeah. Because
sure.
they still have to like the least amount of time it could be is 2 years because they haven't even they just got done finishing No Way Home. So
I heard something about Into the Spider-Verse 2, but I didn't know if
that's
was
coming out. That's coming out 2022 next year.
That could be cool.
That's
so
why
they could add more stuff.
Exactly. I think that's why it's getting released. Spider-Man 2 is getting released next year, right?
No,
2023. So
so it's gonna be right. It's gonna be right along with it. So I'm very excited.
Spider-Man.
I'm very excited. I really enjoyed the conference. I was really surprised. Like PlayStation got their shit together. Like Xbox came in so hard whenever they had their whatever the announcements they had. And all of a sudden PlayStation comes in and you go, bam, dude. Well, here's what we got. So I think them coming in last, right? Like them prolonging their announcements and everything really helped them. Because I think more people is going to remember PlayStation, right? Just because it's more current in their minds than they will the Xbox releases they had. Even though the Xbox releases they went really hard too. So I think this is going to be really close.
I got this pulled up right here. So before we go into the debates,
go ahead.
The PS5 exclusives are going to be Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, GT7, which I'm assuming is Gran Turismo 7.
Yes.
That's exclusive. Spider-Man 2, Wolverine. And for the Xbox Series X exclusives, you have Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, Redfall, Horizon Motorsports, Starfield, Fable, Wolfenstein 3, Gears of War 6, State of Decay 3, Elder Scrolls 6, and Fallout 5 when all of those come out.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy, man.
That's a lot to get into.
I think if Elder Scrolls is an Xbox exclusive, that's going to be huge for Xbox, and that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Before we get into the debate, though, Knights of the Old Republic remake. Anyone excited about that?
I'm excited.
I'm extremely. So when I was younger, I had always seen this game, but I didn't have a PC that could run it, and I just didn't have access to it. So as I got older, I've always kind of looked back and I've watched videos and I've seen a lot about it. Like I know a lot about the game without ever playing it. And so I'm really excited when it comes out with the remake because I was already considering playing it in its current state. I'm definitely going to be playing this remake. And again, it's one of those things where we're in that time of year or that part of the decade, right, where they've come out with a new console and now the games are coming out for just that new console. And I think that is what pushes a lot of people to actually buy the console. Like when I upgraded from PlayStation 2 to actually finally getting an Xbox 360 was for Halo 3, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, I need it. And the same goes for, I think, like Halo 4 came out on the Xbox One, right? They did kind of like the same thing. I think that this will be huge for their console sales. Yeah. And I think that both sides have some good ammunition for this next few years of war, right? Mm. Which leads us into the battle.
The big battle
of the decade. So I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty in the middle with a lot of this stuff when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox. Because I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation, I've played them both. I've played a lot of like their main games that, everyone sells for. So I got to say that in my eyes, I think that it could go one of two ways. I was telling Nick this at work the other day. Think about it like this. The PlayStation compared to the original Xbox, right? The Xbox wins. Then the PlayStation 2 compared to, I guess that's a bad comparison. The PlayStation 3 to the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3 failed, like miserably. Mm-hmm. It was extremely overpriced. Everyone played 360. Yeah. After that, we went to the PlayStation 4 against the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4 was killing it the entire time.
Yeah.
Now we're on the Xbox Series X and the PS5. The statistics don't lie. The Series X is stronger than the PlayStation 5 in specs, but what Nick was saying is those exclusives are what really holds PlayStation together. It's the bread and butter for their players.
Yeah, I agree. one of my points was too, like from PlayStation and from Xbox, like Xbox for me has to be the stronger one just based upon the Xbox Game Pass. Like that
Game
bundle that bundle that they give, and you know they've always been giving out games for gold and that kind of stuff. But dude, this new Game Pass that they have out, with every single new release of their games, they put it right on Game Pass. I mean, just the bang for your buck. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, we're gonna get the Halo. We're gonna get the new Elder Scrolls game if it's an exclusive, you know, and that translates to PC, you know. So as a PC player now, I have to say Xbox because PlayStation could give two shits about me, you know. So
Right.
just the fact that I can have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and it can transfer into PC and I get all like 100 games that I don't even have to pay for. I just pay for the monthly subscription. Then
Right.
I gotta say Xbox.
Now,
Yeah.
PlayStation has PlayStation Now, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to act like that doesn't completely exist.
Mhm.
But I've seen the list, and in my opinion, the Xbox Game Pass just hits harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's for
And I
PC
wanna-
too.
I want to
Yeah.
put this into perspective as well, because give me your honest answer to this. And I know the hype is real with Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, but what are you going to be playing in the next like 4 to 5 years? Are you going to be playing one game of Halo Infinite? Like, how many people are going to be playing Halo Infinite in the next 5 years to compare to how many people are going to be playing Spider-Man? Because, Sean, I remember you bought a PS4 solely for a Spider-Man game. You played it for like a month, and then you got bored of it.
Yeah.
But Halo, you play that for like 10 years. People are still playing Halo Reach, Master Chief
Yeah.
Collection.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Hey,
You
Caleb.
got
Caleb, look down at me real quick. Look down at me. We're both thinking Battlefield 2042, right?
Yeah, I mean obviously. I mean, that's
Okay.
kinda,
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
you don't even have
Yeah.
to. I mean, that's like the game I'll only be
Oh,
playing
man.
for a very
I-
long time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be playing that for the next 4 years. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you get my point. Exclusive wise, a PS5 game of Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine is not going to hold up to an Xbox One game of just one Halo Infinite. You're
Yeah,
going to be playing Halo
Yeah.
Infinite for years and years. You might get bored of Spider-Man 2 after
I
3
feel
or
like
4 months.
Xbox does well multiplayer, and PlayStation does well single player.
yeah,
And
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And I think it'd be a very good point because one of the things that pushed me to get to PS4 was the exclusives and the games that were promised at the time. But then you also got to think there's those droughts, there's like spaces in between these games.
right.
So like I said, if I got a PS5 now, there's nothing I couldn't get on a PS4, PS4 Pro right now. But if I'm getting an Xbox Series One and you have the Game Pass, now you have all these games that play wonderfully. So I think where Xbox has in quantity, I think PlayStation has in a lot of their quality games, but it's so spaced out, especially with everything going on in the gaming industry. Like, yeah, these games are gonna last you as long as you want it to last you. Depends on what you're looking for in a game. But I do agree, like when you have Halo Infinite and you just the replayability for that makes you want to just have that system and you get more bang for your buck, like you guys were saying.
for sure.
And these
there's some-
exclusives,
They are big. There was one thing he said that I wanna investigate a little, right? So he said the Series 1, okay? Listen. This is where PlayStation wins because it's just PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's easy to keep track of. Then you have Xbox.
Which is Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox X, Xbox S, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S.
Like, what is this? What world are we living in where they're like, we're going to add series in front of the name of the console?
Yeah,
Like, see, that was just a good example of how, like, even Nick, like, they get mixed up. I get them mixed up when I'm talking to buddies and I'm like, oh, yeah, which Xbox do you got? I'm like, I got the Xbox One X. And they're like, oh, how'd you get the new console? I'm like, no. This was the newest iteration of the Xbox One. Xbox needs to get their stuff together with their names.
I feel like iPhone does that too in a way though, because you
It's
had like
awful.
iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there was like the iPhone X, the iPhone XR.
Yeah,
I know the
that's
X
huge.
stands for 10, but
I
it's just
kind of
marketing,
wondered.
man.
I wondered if it was a little like scammy, the thought process behind it, right? So like, think about it. You tell your grandma what you want for Christmas, right? Assuming you got a grandma that's gonna buy you this, right? But you say, I want the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X. She might look that up and buy him the Xbox One X, right? And then Microsoft now is gonna make double the profit because he just got that old console, but now he still wants the new one, right? So I don't know, man. They got to get their name called together.
I think that's the big plan. I think exactly what you laid out. I think that was their whole marketing strategy. They're like,
That's what I
you
think
know
it
what?
was.
Instead of selling consoles, how about we just sell them to grandmas to buy them for their grandsons, and that way we can scam them out of money. I think you nailed it right on the head. You got it.
Mm.
You got it.
Thank you. I really
Let
tried
me-
to search for that one.
Let me ask this: with all these exclusives, let me hear what your most anticipated game of the next couple of years is going to be. We'll start with Nick.
I don't know, man. Like, there's so many games. Like, if like Elder Scrolls and Fallout is like an exclusive to Xbox, I'll be very sad because I'm very excited for those. Of course, Battlefield looks amazing. Like all the Sony stuff they put out. Like I'm excited for all of it. It's really hard for me to be like, I need that one. I want that one. Like, I want all these games. And it's just
You
like,
got to pick one. You got to pick one.
Stop.
Dude, if I gotta pick one, I'm pretty excited for God of War Ragnarok. If I'm
Okay.
repping my PS5 people right now, I'm very excited for that. I think the first game, just like in terms of cinematic gameplay and just having like a really good linear story while still allowing you to explore the world, like
Right.
if they just build on that in the next God of War, like I'm there for it.
What did you
100%.
think about the Thor meme of them having Thor be this big fat dude, quote unquote?
I mean, everyone wants a buff, like a really buff Thor. I hated Fat Thor in like Endgame and stuff like that. But, like, you also have to think like if they're going for like the real Norse mythology, you gotta see where their sources are coming from. Maybe
Right.
back then that's what they believed Thor to actually look like. As long as there's some reason for it, as long as it's not just some doofus, you know, like as long as there's a reason for his build, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, as long as he's not like a dork, like I'm sure there's gonna be reason. But like, I think it would also be cool if he was like 7 foot, like just ripped. You know, either
Yeah,
way,
that
I'm
would
excited
be
for
epic.
it.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be cool.
This is gonna be a tough one, Sean. I don't know if we're gonna be able to think about our favorite
Oh,
game in the next
man.
1 to 2 years.
Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, that's an
Where have
easy
you
one.
been my whole
Yeah.
life? Yeah, it's easy for me, man.
Mhm.
Battlefield 2042 has got my direct attention. I'm just waiting. And also, I do want to say, rest in peace, the guy who played Irish in Battlefield 2042. Really tragic that he's actually passed away.
Yeah.
So everyone, go check out some of his stuff that he's done, because you know he's done a lot more than just Battlefield 2042. But
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah, I think he was in The Wire too.
Yeah, he was.
That's a really popular. Yeah, he's a really good actor.
He was in a show also called Lovecraft
Michael K.
Country. You
Williams.
guys ever watched that?
No
Michael
shit.
K. Williams.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, and also what was really cool is a lot of people's pushing around like they're telling Dice, they're like, "Hey, you need to put him on the cover," and I completely agree.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
should.
that was kind of obvious to begin with. You know, like why not? Like he's already like such a dope actor, and he does
Yeah.
really good Irish and everything. So yeah, it's kind of obvious. That'd be really cool if they did that, kind of honor him. So.
Well, Ryan, what was your most anticipated game of all time?
Mine has to be actually Redfall, the Bethesda published Arcane Studios.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
You
that
know
did
the
look
game with
pretty
the vampires?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that would be kind of cool. I was looking it up, watching the trailer and everything, and with Bethesda behind it, and that's an Xbox exclusive game. So
There's
it
another
might be
one coming out that is made by the Fallout people, Bethesda. I think it's like StarCraft or
Starfield.
Starfield.
Star
Oh, I think
Wars?
it's Starfield. I think it's called Starfield,
Yeah.
right?
That looks really cool too.
They said it's like Skyrim in space. Like that
Yeah.
can mean anything, but
Sign me up. Sign me up.
yeah, space.
Sounds
If it's Bethesda, like I'm there for it.
All right, so we have to get moving on out of this topic of PlayStation. We got other things to talk about. The one thing I wanted to wrap up on, we're going to do this kind of like rapid fire. So quickly think, if you've ever owned a PlayStation, what is your number one favorite PlayStation game ranking from PlayStation 1 all the way to PlayStation 5? Just anyone. I'll go first so you guys can think. Spy Cooper 2. Easily. I spent hours and hours and hours playing that as a kid.
Wait, isn't it Sly Cooper, not Spy Cooper?
I said Sly Cooper.
Oh, I thought you said Spy Cooper.
No, it's
You just got owned. You just got called out.
Yeah, I said Sly Cooper. I did not say Spy Cooper. You better
Okay.
take that back right
All
now.
right. Anyways, you can keep on going.
No, I don't want to now. I refuse. No, but if it wasn't Sly Cooper, then probably 2, like the original one. Or
Wait, say that
Battlefront.
again?
Star Wars Battlefront or Battlefront 2. That'd be the other one because, that was insane, walking around as a Jedi as a kid. I thought that was so cool. Ryan, what about you?
I would have to say Hitman Blood Money. I used to play that on the PS2 non-stop. I love Hitman games, but that was really fun for me.
Yeah, that is good. Oh, and CTR PlayStation 1. I've said like 5 now. What's wrong with you?
you're
Nick, what is yours? What is your favorite?
So I didn't own a PlayStation until I got the PS4. One of the first games I got with the PS4 was Destiny. Like,
Okay.
and I used to play that game heavy before it got like super complicated and annoying, and like that was really fun when it was simple and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that game.
Destiny. Or Ghost. Ghost was hot.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm talking about like going far back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the ancient.
But yeah,
The ancient one. It's the ancient one in that game. What about you, Caleb?
Mine's okay. So
You just made a face like you just farted on camera. Like you were sitting here like looking around the room like, smell that. Yeah.
no, I didn't. No, okay, because I was trying to think of. So I haven't. I specifically bought a PlayStation 3, right? Just because I wanted to see what it was all about, and I was kind of like buying it out of just because I could. So I bought the PlayStation 3 and I played Metal Gear Solid. It was, let me get the exact name. That's what I was kind of looking up for. Guns of the Patriots. And dude, that was such an epic game. I love that game so much. So definitely Metal Gear Solid 4.
You ever played Metal Gear Solid 5?
Huh?
You ever played Metal Gear Solid 5?
I played 5. Yeah, we talked about that. Dude, that game went hard too.
Amazing.
I love that game. Yeah, so
that was amazing.
Definitely Metal Gear Solid 4. Definitely got to be the best PlayStation exclusive. So, yeah.
Well, with all the crazy stuff going on, Xbox exclusives, PlayStation exclusives, some people are not going to be able to play these games. Have you guys heard about that China ban going on? The gaming?
I heard.
So let's talk about that a little bit. What do you know about it, Sean?
So I was just like doing a little digging here, and someone might have to help me here. But the Chinese, their type of exchange, it's like it's spelled like yuan, but it's yang. Is it yen? Is it
yen?
Yeah, yen, right? So their gaming revenue is 41 billion yen. Right, and their market size of the esports sector is 147 billion yen. Okay, and then the number of gamers total, I saw it ranging from 665 million all the way up to like 780 million. I was seeing both of those numbers.
That's crazy.
Shit.
So one of the things I want to talk about is this law, from what I was seeing, or this gaming ban, seems to only apply to people under the age of 18. So, I was just talking to my sister about this before the podcast. She was like, isn't that kind of like a good thing, don't you think, for kids, to not be playing so much games? And I'm like, well, it's 2 hours a week, right? And there's a couple of different factors, in my opinion, that go in. Let's like pull it away from like what the government's doing and their involvement in gaming and stuff. But like, let's bring it just over to what effects is this going to have on these kids under 18, right? We all grew up on games. I don't know. I'm not speaking for everyone here, but I used to play games daily for hours on end until my mom or dad kicked me off, right? That was how I like to play games. A lot of gaming is an escape for a lot of these children. So if you grow up in an abusive household, that is sometimes your only go-to, and that's if that person's allowing you to even do that, right? Just let me get everyone's thoughts on this, because as far as the information is concerned, there's a lot of different sources out there, and I was trying to find like only credible places. So we're not going to be a place necessarily to find out about this ban. This is more of what our thoughts are on the effects that it's going to bring.
Yeah, I can start too. I've recently, for those who are on YouTube, I recently watched Level Cap's video over it, and it was actually really informative in talking about like the ins and outs of like what this really means. And obviously, like China's, they got the communist government, all that kind of shit. So they're going to try to enact the most control possible. So in terms of this gaming ban, like it delves in a lot more stuff than it may see on the surface. From what he was saying, it can, like, China's actually getting involved with like Tencent, which is like one of the biggest gaming providers, and another largest game provider in China, and they're like, hey, you need to stop making addictive games. And they're talking like this goes really, really deep. And for those who don't know too, like in China, they're not allowed to have Xboxes, they're not allowed to have PlayStations. They can only PC game and they can only mobile game. They don't have the Xbox there. They don't have a PlayStation there. So in terms of like cracking down on like, kids, it's actually a lot broader than what it looks like on the surface. So
just for a moment to add to what you're saying, like with it being mobile games and stuff primarily in PC games, I'm just going to read off some of the like top 10 of China's most played games. One is Honor of Kings, just from the
Love
pictures.
that game.
Easily, it's a mobile game. All right, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. On Majoy or something. It's an MMO, again, on the cell phone. We have Westward, looks like another phone game. QQ Speed, which is another phone game. PUBG, which guess what, is also on the phone. Crossfire, which I believe is just a PC game, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's on the phone too, I think.
It's on the phone too?
Yeah,
wow.
All on the phone.
I have seen Crossfire on PC. Clash of Clans, Defense of the Ancients, Hearthstone, I've heard of that, and then Overwatch. Right, so Overwatch has got to be PC.
Yeah, no, phone game. Phone game.
No, phone game, totally. But, so those are some of the games that, these younger kids aren't going to be able to play. Well, they're going to be able to play for 2 hours a week. 2 hours a week.
Yeah, isn't it from like 8 to 9 on a Saturday or something?
Yeah,
like
it has
that?
to be on the weekend. It's a very specific time frame. Like,
crazy.
imagine you have some type of event going at that specific time, and you're like, oh, I can't go because I'm over here.
Yeah, gotta get my daily gaming session. Yeah.
Does anybody know what's the repercussions if you do get caught like playing?
That's
Or
a
do
good
they shut
point.
off your internet? Like,
No, I'll look that up while y'all are.
What do you think about it, Nick?
I think it obviously excessive gaming could be a problem for some people, not everyone. We have some people that may take it a little too seriously, but I think I don't know. I feel like it could also be a little too intense because, like Sean brought up, this could be a scapegoat for many people. This is people's forms of relaxation. Especially as a kid, you're going to school, you have family problems, whatever. Even if your friends are far away, it's a way to connect, no matter what age you are. But I think maybe having a little bit of control over how excessive it is smart. But I do think it may be a little intense to be forcing people not to play.
Yeah.
Especially at 18, I think those people are now working and doing jobs. Those are people who have less time to play to begin with. The biggest consumer base will be the kids or the people who have that time. And obviously, as you get older, you have less time. So
I agree, man. It's tough, like I was saying before, with it being like a communist government. Like ultimately, if this was just like a recommendation, right? Like, hey, parents, you kind of need to limit your kids on how much they play. Then that's completely different. Then I'd be kind of for that. Sure, I can see everybody, being a little bit less online, but the fact that this is an actual law, right, and they're actually restricting the populace, like this big demographic of players and people from enjoying to have some kind of escapism, it's just kind of crazy, and it shows you the difference between a communist government and a democratic or other kind of government. Right. It's just insane. Definitely a L for. Just an L for communism on this.
What do you think would happen if this happened in the United States?
No, it would be insane.
Dude,
but you have to think a lot of parental
some crazy stuff.
Yeah, bro. A lot of parental guidance settings has timers parents can put on things already.
Yeah.
And there's you can put systems in place that if you see someone's playing too much time in the day, the game will tell you and stuff like that. But
That's very true.
To make it illegal to only play at certain times, in your own house,
yeah.
I remember.
I was gonna say I
remember.
You guys are gonna have a fight right now. Dang! Forget about Xbox and PlayStation. Y'all are gonna fight about who's gonna talk first.
Ryan. Come on, it's time to go. Come on.
I was gonna say real quick. I remember as a kid in middle school, I had a stepdad that had something with the Wi-Fi, and it shut off at 12 o'clock for 5 minutes, and so for 3 weeks straight, I was like, I can't play past 12. And then I stayed up till 1 o'clock, and after the 5 minute span ended, the Wi-Fi turned back on. I was like, haha, got you. That was a parental setting that you could do on the Wi-Fi router or the router. You could turn it off at a certain time. And then, but yeah, what were you gonna say, Sean?
I
Before
feel like
interrupted
America. No, I interrupted you. I'm so sorry. But in America, I just feel like if the government got involved to that extent, that would already be so many red
Yeah.
flags for Americans that would probably be
Yeah.
another like civil war or some shit.
Yeah, you just couldn't do that, man. That's gonna be like another like
Yeah.
insurrection or whatever level of
Yeah.
it. Except instead of like all the like the Trumpers, you're gonna have like a bunch of video gamers running.
Yeah.
But
Bunch of gamers that got
yeah.
like their shit buckets attached
yeah,
to
man,
their
they
ass,
all got like they're all dressed up in cosplay and everything. Yeah.
run around with a bucket.
Hell
on their
yeah,
ass.
dude.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So, moving away from gaming, we can actually kind of in the same vein of like China and everything. We're going to talk about Shang Chi and the Legend of Ten
Oh.
Rings. This was a movie that I was anticipating for a very long time. I honestly did not think that it was going to turn out that well. For those, again, this is going to be spoiler free, right? For those who watched Black Widow, and I'm not going to spoil that either, I was a little bit disappointed from Black Widow. I thought it was good. I thought it was great in terms of being a movie, but in terms of Marvel movies, it was kind of a step down, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
again, we talked about a lot of other things of why it wasn't as good, and with the release date and everything. So, Sean, you could talk a little bit about that if you want to, about Black Widow.
Yeah, well, I mean, Black Widow, it just kind of came off as like another action movie with the plot like didn't add anything to the story arc, unfortunately. That was the biggest downturn for me for Black Widow was like there was no building to any plot lines really. And then the other thing is that it came out on Disney Plus and it came out in the movies, and like Shang Chi is a theater exclusive right now. So, and that, Scarlett Johansson actually sued Disney. She opened up a lawsuit against Disney because they released it on Disney Plus at the same time as the box office, and she feels like that hurt her box office.
I heard about that.
Like how much it made. So, and I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of feel mixed. It's a Disney Plus releasing it on there. I do see how that could definitely hurt someone's movie. I mean, the HBO Max is doing that like crazy, and I'm nervous. Like Matrix 4 has already been announced to come out day one on HBO Max, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That should be a movie theater only movie. Why are you?
Yeah.
And obviously there's points about like COVID and people going back out with the variant that like there are understandable reasons to still have it releasing. But Nick, what do you think about that? I feel like you might have something to build to that.
I do think putting movies straight to streaming services is a scary thing.
Yeah.
People were already scared to go to theaters due to everything that's happening in the world, and I think this just gives them even more reason to not go. It's like, why would I pay money for a ticket, for snacks, to sit somewhere, to have to like be worried about other people when I can just see it comfortably in my house?
Yeah.
And like home theaters are being a thing. People like hooking up their setups now that they're home. They're actually able to enjoy it. Like, I know I'm a big movie theater guy, so it kind of scares me to see. But Shang-Chi did amazing, which it gets my spirits high for anything else that's going to be coming out. I know any like HBO Max, they have a lot of movies that just came out that are on HBO Max. There's a horror movie, I think it's called like Malignant, something like that.
Yeah. My buddy just saw that, said it was trash.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I didn't even know it came out, but next it's on HBO Max. It's like, oh, okay, there goes having to go to a theater to see this movie.
Yeah,
So,
it's really disappointing to actually see that. And I think because of just like the greed factor, I don't think that's going to go away because now HBO Max, that's their niche, right?
Yeah.
They've already done the Suicide Squad, right? And they've like you just said, they just released Malignant, and now they're going to be doing Matrix 4. That's kind of depressing.
they kind of started that too, right? Like they were the first streaming service to be like, this is also going to be here. Like,
I don't know, maybe it was when at Disney Plus, weren't they?
No, there was a Discovery or the Ghost Adventures was on like Discovery Channel. And I remember like 2 years ago. No, I'm being serious. 2 years ago.
First to do it.
No, I'm being serious. So Discovery Plus had this show Ghost Adventures, and they had all these new episodes every year. And they announced that, like, I think it was 2 years ago, they announced that they weren't like airing them on television anymore. They were going to be straight to Discovery Plus.
Wouldn't with the
Yeah,
same
that's right.
wouldn't with the same aspect be like, well, Netflix from the get go they had the Arrested Development, all the way from their
Well,
first
yeah,
Netflix original, But I know
My,
it doesn't really matter at this point, like who did it. Like this is in this like we're in this space now, We're in this space where you're gonna get a movie on streaming. You may get it also on the movie theaters. It may be exclusive. It may only be at the movie theaters for a month, like Shang Chi was, which I'll get in my review now. So
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I started out saying review, and then Sean's like, you know what? Let's just take this ride somewhere else. So I gotta get back on track.
well, before you start with your review, if they take Green Boblin straight to HBO
Okay.
Max, I'm gonna sue.
I am too. I think it needs to be on Crackle. I think Green Boblin needs to be on Crackle.
No,
Everyone's Peacock. Yeah. So here's the Shang-Chi movie review. Like I was saying, this has got to be like out of 10. This has got to be a solid 8 out of 10. Like in terms of like Marvel movies, in terms of just movies in general, this is a blast, man. The first half of this, you get nothing but action, nothing but hardcore like Jet Li level action and fighting. The fight scenes are like choreographed to the it's the best. It's really the best. And you get a lot of you get less like magic than I thought it was going to be. Like when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, they're going to have like this magic whoop-de-doo thing, and they're all going to have to take out the whoop-de-doo thing. But just wait, Shang-Chi, he can take out the whoop-de-doo thing, But it wasn't.
Pause.
Well, everybody knows what whoop-de-doo thing is.
Oh,
but
no.
but anyways,
10 rings, man.
the 10 rings. You have like the Horcrux or whatever, the thing that's the thing that always the thing that drives the movie. So anyways, come on, don't give me those space. I'm just trying to explain this movie and you're sitting there giving me looks. So Shang-Chi, highly would recommend it. I don't even have to say anything to the Marvel fans. You're already going to want to watch it. And for those thinking about watching it, it actually comes out in a few weeks on Disney Plus anyways. So,
oh really?
Yeah, it comes out on Disney Plus a month after it released. So probably like at the beginning of October, it's going to come.
Movies.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend seeing it in movies. I'm a big movie guy, so I would definitely watch it in there. But
let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you could compare it to already pre-existing Marvel movie, could you compare it to any? Is this like the Iron Man 2 of the Iron Mans, or is?
Dude, I would have to say this could stand alone by itself. Like even without all like the Marvel stuff, I'm like you can really just watch this movie and never watch any other Marvel stuff and just be really, really interested in the fight scenes, in the story, and how it ends. It's just a really good wrap around. It wraps itself up really nice, and it leaves you wanting more Shang-Chi. So like every single Marvel series, like Captain America, it gets its own like theme, especially from Winter Soldier, it set the course. Like this is how Captain America movies are going to be. Iron Man movies, you know exactly how an Iron Man movie is going to play out. It's going to have the same tone and all that kind of stuff. So Shang-Chi like completely opens up a new one, and it's a good movie. I can't say anything better about it. It's great.
You keep saying Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
In the movie, how do they
Shang-Chi. That's how they say Shang-Chi. Yeah,
so
I thought it was Shang-Chi though.
So we might see
I
a
thought it was
cultural
Shang-Chi.
change, like how we saw Baby Yoda go from Baby Yoda to Grogu, right? So maybe everyone will start calling it Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I think
I've been calling it Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I think that's just us being ignorant. They do, like even in the trailers, they say Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay.
Just
they do.
Because I'm sure it's. I mean, in the English, that's kind of like Shang, Shang,
Right, yeah.
Shang. So it doesn't matter, but it is
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Yes.
Shang-Chi.
So I got my 10 rings right here. All right, so let's go into the next thing. If you guys speak about like superheroes and stuff, if you guys could have one superhero power from any superhero, what would it be? So you can't. Let me be clear. You can't be like, I would fly and have laser vision, right? You can't do this. You get one specific power. Okay.
That's easy, dude.
So it's easy. Go ahead, Caleb.
Okay, so this is a deep, deep cut, but I have wanted this power for so fucking long. It's crazy. Okay, so for anybody who's watched Ben 10, okay, I'm not talking about Ben from Ben 10.
Ours is similar.
I'm talking about Kevin 11. That's his name, right? Well, he's got a super cool power. Every time he touches something, he can like, so like if I touch this desk that's made of wood, all of a sudden my hand is made of wood, right, dude? That's super. If I touch glass, I'm made of glass now, dude. That's gotta be the coolest one to me, by far. Kevin 11.
What about you, Nick?
Oh, there's so many cool powers out there, man. I just have to think.
I just noticed you're wearing a Venom shirt.
I am wearing a Venom shirt.
Venom.
An inspiration for Spider-Man 2, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I don't know. The powers, dude, there's so many cool ones. Like, I don't know. Like you said, you had to have one specific power, but I always like the power cosmic and like Marvel comics. Like, all the people have like these weird space powers and stuff like that. Like, because you could do so much with that. But, I don't even know. There's so many. Dude, if I could be like Thor, like grab his hammer and just turn into Thor, that'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
So the power of Mjolnir.
Yeah. Or like Shazam or something. Like be like Shazam.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
cool.
be sick.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, like electricity and shit. I got you.
Yeah. Just like you just turn like to another different being. And you have all these powers.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Ryan?
cool concept.
What about you, Ryan? What do you think?
Go to Sean. Sean? I'm still thinking.
So will you open that link I just sent you, Caleb, on Discord? I sent you a DM. So the superhero I would want to be is Beast Boy from Teen Titans.
Okay.
Because Beast Boy can turn into all different types of animals, right? He can turn into like an eagle, a hawk, a rhino, a dog, a cat, right? He can do all these different things. So imagine, and that really entails everything. So I could be an eagle, and I could be flying along in the sky, and then I could turn into a cat, and then I just land. And cats always land on their feet, so I could just land and stick the land, and then I'd have 9 lives too, because then I'm a cat, right? So then that gives you a little bit of immortality, not like full immortality, but close enough. Definitely Beast Boy. Now, besides the fact that I'd be entirely green, right? If I could get rid of the all green element of it, that would be cool.
Well, you said you could choose one superpower, so your superpower would be just changing to animals. That doesn't mean you're green, so.
Right.
That is true.
That's true.
So there you go. I'm using your own logic against you or with you, I guess. So Ryan, did you finally think?
Okay. Yeah, I'd say a little bit of Wolverine Deadpool action with the regeneration.
That would go hard.
Cool.
Either that or be an Aquaman, underwater stuff going on.
Yeah,
Dude,
super strong and everything
that would be
underwater.
Underwater stuff?
Dude, I would be like in the water, except not in the water. Does that make sense, dude?
I could breathe in the water.
In the water?
If you pour that on, oh my.
Nice.
That was actually
Nice.
like hella refreshing too.
I bet.
My
I bet.
face is cool.
So we can finally move in. We talked about our superpowers. We talked about Shang-Chi. And we got to end it on a high note, as always. This is the 10th edition of the greatest games of all time. And this one's going to be a special one. Okay, we're not going to leave it. We're not going to be doing the regular smegular ones, right? This one's going to be interesting. So we each chose one greatest game of all time for us personally. The one game that we could go back to that we think's the best game of all time. And we're gonna be rating them today. So, and this one, the cool thing, interesting about today is, let's say my greatest game of all time is Fortnite, and I think it's a masterpiece. We're gonna take Fortnite and we're gonna put it right at a masterpiece. Let's say Ryan, his favorite game, right, is Clash of Clans. He can take Clash of Clans and put it wherever he wants on the map. So as for the last game, you guys are gonna choose. The 4 of you guys are going to, including me, are going to choose exactly where we want our greatest games of all time.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and start out with the guest. We'll start with Rat. What do you? What's your greatest game? Yeah, we'll start with Rat. Rat ass. How about that?
Rat ass. That don't sound right.
Wrong.
Come on, I'm just trying to be nice here. Okay, so what's your favorite game?
Oh,
And why?
dude, I know I've like mentioned it so many times, but Ghost of Tsushima, like ever since that game
Yeah.
came out, like
It's an excellent game.
it's just been different. Like I gotta look more in games now
Cinematic.
since I played that game. So
Yeah,
that's a masterpiece right now. For me.
masterpiece. I agree wholeheartedly about that. They're also coming out with the director cut. You excited about that one?
Oh yeah, I started New Game Plus just so I can play and get to that point and just like indulge more because I just want more of that game, and the multiplayer to me is so fun. Like it gets a little
Yeah.
boring sometimes, but after a while you get bored of something, you just hop on some wave survival or something.
Yeah.
I have to
It really doesn't
say,
get old for me.
I have to say the cutscenes on this game is probably one of the best cutscenes. Just like just
Oh,
the graphics wise, it just blows everything else out of the park.
It really
it
does.
is crazy.
And the
Like, when I think-
gameplay. Go ahead.
nah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The gameplay mechanics, they play a lot like the old Assassin's Creed to me.
Yeah.
And I love it, like the climbing and also like you can assassinate people and do all types of things, and the AI scale with you. You saw like by the
Yeah.
but not like most games. Like like you still have some of your basic enemies you'll come across, but the AI like they start to get more armor and stuff. Like and visually you see more armor on them, like these tanky samurai type dudes coming at you. So like gladiators. So and there's like different stances, but
Yeah.
no, 100% agree.
It's just when I think of open world games, I want more from open world games now. Cause,
Yeah.
like I'm like I should be getting more now. I don't know.
Yeah, the immersiveness of it is great. It takes elements from like I'm gonna use GTA as an example because GTA 5 you get the little blue dots while you're going around in the story, and you go up to it and it's like some lady asking you to help her, and then she leads you to an alley and jumped right. All types of things like that in Ghost of Tsushima where you could be helping someone that turns against you, or like I came across this extremely drunk dude and his wife was like, just get him home. And the guy would like ended up drowning in the water, and it was because of something I did, and so like it killed the quest for me, so I couldn't finish it because the guy died, and I was supposed to get him home safe.
Yeah.
So because I chose to go through the water, which was faster, he died. So
That's a little side note. Like I would definitely compare it. Like if you guys had played Red Dead 2, I would definitely take that like that immersive and like world feeling alive. I would definitely could put those two games together. Like you feel like you're actually in this time period, actually in this world. So awesome.
yeah, for sure.
Cool. So we got Ryan. Ryan's next.
Mhm.
Ryan, you actually have a really cool one. I think everybody's gonna kind of agree with you a little bit.
Okay, so I was going to originally pick Skyrim, but we've already reviewed Skyrim.
reviewed it.
So I would have to go with Left 4 Dead 2.
Yep.
And let me explain. So Left 4 Dead 2 came out, and that was the first game that I got on the Xbox 360, so it has a little bit of sentimental value to me. I'd say the playability on that game, the story mode, everything that just made me fall in love with it. You have to, like, if you and three of your friends can get on and you guys just, like, go through waves of zombies, just have a great time, you could play that for hours and hours and hours. The characters in those, like Ellis, I thought he was the coolest character ever. Super funny. And I picked the second one because they had more accessories, like the chainsaw, the story mode, everything like that. And then even now with the mod community, they have all these different maps. I think it's a game that's going to span 20 plus years. Like people are going to still want to play Left 4 Dead.
My favorite thing about Left 4 Dead is you like one of the mods you can get is the Shrek mod.
Oh yeah, I saw you do that.
Yeah, and whenever he starts coming, you hear very vaguely and faintly in the background you hear somebody once told me, and it starts getting louder, and you're like, oh, where's he coming from? And then Shrek, pops around the corner. It's hilarious. So
that's definitely a masterpiece for me. Is Left 4 Dead 2
for sure.
Yeah.
I think the entire just Left 4 Dead franchise is amazing. Like those are just great classic games. Playing this like the excitement you get from them, and it makes me very excited for Back 4 Blood. You guys heard about that one?
Yeah.
Like just bringing back that classic, just go through waves of zombie, simple formula, crazy stuff going on. Like makes me very excited because Left 4 Dead is awesome.
I agree. I mean, we played the beta, and our review on that is on episode 7, I think, or the pod 6 or 7, and. We were a little disappointed by the beta. It felt a little clunky, but I'm hoping it's still pre-installed on my Xbox. I'm hoping that it shows up and shows out when it actually releases.
What does that come out? October what?
Comes out
It's like
soon.
next month.
It comes out soon. Yeah,
it's coming
I
up very
don't
soon.
actually
man.
know the date on
I
that.
also played the beta, and it very much felt like a beta. But
Mhm.
it's like if they can improve like in these little things, it's gonna be a fun game. So.
Comes out October 12th. So
Okay.
we're
That's soon.
exactly a
Soon.
month
That's,
away.
that's a month from today. Legit.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, Sean,
Something to look forward to.
I know you have a really special game that's in
Yeah.
at least two of our hearts. What is
I'm
your
gonna give.
what is your
I'm
favorite
gonna,
game?
I'm gonna give a little context to this first. So my game is Battlefield 4. Okay, and the reason why this is one of my favorite games is because I started playing Battlefield not at well, I played a little Bad Company too, but then I mostly got into it at Battlefield 3. In Battlefield 3, I became obsessed with flying in the game and the scout helicopters and the jets. At my peak, I was like number 13 in the world for helicopters, like on the leaderboard. As far as like everything that I could do with a helicopter, I loved it. So when Battlefield 4 came out, and it had basically taken all of the great elements of Battlefield 3 and put it into one cohesive game, I fell in love, man. And you know, we had a milsim on that game, and our milsim was at our peak. You know, we had like 75 something people, and it was really enjoyable for everything that we did. We had these big events and war games, and that's something that I'm excited to bring back to the table for Battlefield 2042. And I'm hoping that a lot of people will come and join us, and we can recreate a lot of these memories, make new.
Yeah.
But Battlefield 4, like the sniping mechanics where it has this bullet drop, you're not getting quick scope by people at a time when Battlefield 4 came out, and you're going and playing Call of Duty and getting quick scoped. It was it was in, it was insane. And you know, Battlefield 4 had this thing where they said Battlefield moments, right? And there's just moments in Battlefield where you jump out of a jet, pull out an RPG, shoot another jet down, and hop back in your jet. That's only something you're gonna be able to do, right? There could be moments where you're getting dropped off on a rib boat, and the mortars are coming down, hitting you. It's insane. And Battlefield 4, for me, the reason it has such a huge place in my heart is because of the community that I actually did on there. Had so much fun, and that game gave me a platform to really to really immerse myself in the game. And you know, playing with friends and doing call outs, it's very immersive, a lot of fun, gets your adrenaline pumping for sure. This for me, it's going to be a 9 for me. It's not going to be a masterpiece. And the reason why it's not going to be a masterpiece is because DICE did me dirty for many years with their rental server program. Okay, rental servers did not come out at launch.
Mhm.
There was a lot of issues with them when they first came out, so that's why it's losing points. The campaign and the multiplayer and everything is breathtaking and amazing, but I gotta say, like their mess ups with the glitches and stuff in the early parts of the game kind of ruined it for me. But
Right.
again, didn't ruin it that much because it's like my
Right.
favorite game. So, but yeah,
Okay.
that would have to be my game.
So we'll get into well, Ryan just gave his, but we'll
I meant Caleb.
we'll get into ratings
Y'all look the same.
I guess I'll start the whole rating thing. So my favorite game of all time, and I think this is a lot of people's as well, and this is something I really thought about, because the top ones are going to be like Marvel Ultimate Alliance or Civilization Revolution, but I
Yeah.
really sat down and I really sat down and thought about it, and I realized that my favorite game of all time has got to be Minecraft. Like I have gone back to Minecraft so many times of just like in between games, like in between. I remember being right after Halo Reach, I didn't have anything to play, and I was like, you know what, I'll play Minecraft. You know, there's so many times where they came out with a new update, and me and my friends start up a whole new world where you all play together. We'll get the diamonds, get all the, just restart fresh. I've done that so many times that
Yeah.
It's just hard for me not to say that this is my favorite game of all time. So definitely it's got to be Minecraft. And I start in the rating system. I'm gonna say it's a 10 out of 10. Just the fact that it constantly, like, you could do whatever you want essentially in that game. You know, if you want to go on and you want to play on a server with multiple people, you could do that. If you want to do PvP, you could do that as well. So it just gives you a lot of options to do. And before by the time you get bored, you're already like a month in playing on your server. So I mean, when can you say the replayability is that good? So I would say, as a Minecraft, I would put Minecraft 10 out of 10, and that's what I'm going to do. Since I have control, I'm going to take Minecraft, I'm going to put it at a masterpiece, 10 out of 10. So
I think no one's going to disagree with you.
I don't think so either.
Minecraft is great.
It's gotten huge.
Yeah.
I remember watching YouTube. There's this YouTuber named I Am the Attack, and he had it like solely like Minecraft based, and he did like the Hunger Games with Minecraft. It was I agree with you.
Okay, so I got a 10 out of 10. We'll go ahead and move it to Ryan. Ryan, what do you rate Left 4 Dead 2? You have full control.
I'll say 10 out of 10.
You're gonna put Left 4 Dead 10 out of 10. I agree.
Because there will never be another Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Back 4 Blood, but
It's
10 out of 10.
Okay, so you got 10 out of 10 Left 4 Dead 2. Nick, where do you put Ghost of Tsushima at?
I put it at 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Okay, I think this is kind of a recurring thing besides Sean. But I definitely agree with you too. I mean, just based on the graphics alone, I'm going to let's put Ghost of Tsushima right at Masterpiece. Full control there. And then finally, Sean, where are you going to put Battlefield 4? I know you mentioned it a little bit before.
It's got to be a 9. It's got to be a 9. If they would have remastered Damavan Peak, it would have been 10.
Yeah, that would have done it for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I actually can't find on this list
Fine,
here.
it'll be imaginary.
It'll be in our heads. It'll be right here
4,
at
number
Amazing.
9. We're moving it right next to Fallout. Bam, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Little guy
Sweet.
sprinting, all good. So this was our last tier list for a while.
Yeah.
All sad. But if you guys want to see this again, leave some leave some comments. Be like, hey, we really like the tier list, and we'll keep doing it. We'll come back to it. We're hoping to next time see us. Hopefully everything will look a little different. I'm hoping to get like a new layout for us.
Yep.
And we're hoping to do some instead of the tier list. There's still gonna be content there. But hopefully it'll be some little surprise for you.
Yeah, and additionally too, like Phoenix was saying, if you guys have some suggestions with the podcast, if you guys want to see it a certain way, let us know. I mean, you guys are going to be in control of this. If you guys are like, bring back the tier list, then we'll do a tier list on something else. We'll do the same one. It's all up to you guys, really. And we always need new ideas. Like, since we're going to have this gap at the end of our podcast, hey, maybe your idea can be filled in it. So
Exactly.
that being said,
one
we're
more
going to
thing.
have Ryan. Ryan, what are you going to say?
One more thing. We have a GoFundMe for $100,000 for a podcast house in New York.
It's going to be
If
called
you want to donate to that.
It's going to be
we're gonna have a podcast house.
Yeah, it's going to be called the Hobgoblin Podcast House.
The Green Boblin.
Yeah, the Green
Boblin.
Boblin. So
you can find the link to that GoFundMe at greenboblin.com.
Yeah, greenboblin.com.
/PGC.
Okay, let's get the jokes out of here, okay?
Just kidding.
No jokes, no more jokes.
No more jokes.
We're gonna wrap it. We're gonna take a deep breath, and we're gonna say our final word. Okay, we're each gonna say our final word as always. So, man, it's been real. It's been real. Ending season 1. Sean, what's your last word to end the season?
Season 2, baby!
Hey, season 2. Okay. Ryan, one single word. If you go over, I'm going to get angry.
Okay.
One
You
word.
ready?
Yeah.
Green Boblin.
Dude, that was unexpected. I wouldn't say that one. Okay.
Compound word.
Yeah. Okay, Nick.
Sensational.
Oh,
Sensational. What a sensational word that was. And then my final word. I'm actually gonna go with the flow this time. I tried to switch it up last time. It didn't go that well. I got so many comments. I think I got probably over 10 million comments last time of how they disagreed with what I said right at the end. So I'll do the same thing as I always do. My final word is
Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below for any feedback or suggestions. I hate you, bye.